took me 5 years to make a story, and I didn't really know that I was making this story when I made all these pieces, but they fit together and eventually led to the Moon People. Last time I told you about the hunter-gatherers. This time I want to tell you about the ritual specialists. So the ritual specialist is important to the community because they worship Moon, and without having proper rituals, then we wouldn't have the gifts from Moon. I wanted to make each of the ritual specialists wearing something light and airy and nature-esque. That's why I based their outfit off of cosmo petals. I wanted them to be kind of transparent, light, and just be sacred. I'm going in with whites and light blues in order to create those light petals. It's kind of hard to get that look that I was going for, but I was just trying and layering, and if it didn't work out, I would get a paper towel and try blotting some of the color off. And eventually when I do the skin, you'll see that it's slightly see-through near the openings of the dress or the garb that they're wearing. The ritual specialists are super important to this community because they have to make sure that the ritual works. They only have one time a month on a full moon to get it all right. I wanted these people to be very nature-oriented, barefoot, and one with the leaves. I also made sure that they had the same moth sunglasses on. I didn't know if I should make it color-coded based off of their job or keep it all the same. For now, I kept it all the same to make them look like a unified people. I figured having moonstones in their outfits, the moth sunglasses, and the beaded necklaces would keep it all cohesive, while their outfits and their jobs were different. Anyways, let's get back to why the ritual specialists are important. The ritual specialists make sure everything is working well and will happen perfectly on the full moon. They take the collected garbage that's reflective from the hunter-gatherers on their search and carve it and make it into beautiful decorations for the ritual night. They also make statues in honor of Moon, decorate the homes in order to make it full of moonstone, and just make everything look beautiful and truly like we worship Moon. It's important that they get everything right and show their true appreciation for Moon, so then they get the gifts back. They protect the forest and worship Moon, and Moon gives them wonderful gifts in return. Moon gives them an orb. The orb grants the Moon People one wish for the community, and the community takes all month to think of what they need together, and they decide on something that will help benefit them all. It's not a selfish decision, and they're all pure of heart, so they're not trying to use it for evil at all. After a wish is made, the orb stops glowing, and the ritual specialists carve it into different shapes to use for future ritual decorations, whether they carve it into moths or stars or moons or just little trinkets around town in order to make everything beautiful and show that they worship Moon. So they cover all the trees in moonstone. They collect shiny garbage and make it beautiful. They carve moons or moths and stars out of garbage or old moonstone. When it's the full moon ritual day, moths actually fly over to their ritual area and circle around it. People wear beautiful fish scales, moonstones, and all these beautiful nature outfits. They want to wear their best ritual outfits in order to worship Moon. There's dancing and food and singing and instruments. It's kind of like a party because they are celebrating how beautiful the forest is and how beautiful Moon is and all the gifts that Moon will bring and has always brought. But at the end of the day, it's all about worshiping Moon. So even though they have their fun, they must give back to Moon. They do this by cleaning the forest, creating sculptures for Moon, building beautiful things for Moon, and just being devoted to Moon and pure of heart. When they're ready for the ritual to begin, they stand in a circle holding hands and chant. This is the way to praise Moon. When they're ready to actually get an orb from Moon, they all have to hold hands in a circle and make their wish together. As I mentioned, the orb gives you a wish, and Moon also grants the Moon People with whispers of the future in the wind. Moon gives strength to the warriors as well as the overseer. If we zoom back into the painting, we see that I'm creating this circle shape. It's a sculpture made by the ritual specialists out of moonstone. One is circular, one is linear. The statues are put around the homes of the moon people as well as around the ritual area in order to worship moon. Here I'm painting the vine that has all the decorations that are hung around the ritual circle. It has old orbs, carvings, any decor that would be perfect for the full moon night. On the sleeve of a ritual specialist, they have a moonstone embedded in their outfit, similar to the hunter-gatherer. It's just something that's uniform in all of their outfits to show that they're moon people. Being one of the moon people is such a huge honor in the world. That is why they are protected. They need to be there to worship moon in order for things to function properly in the world. There's all these symbols on the moonstone. I don't know if it's a language or just ancient text or maybe moon communicating with them. I'm really not sure. They just kind of were there when the moon people arrived. Maybe you guys could help me in the comments decide what the moonstones mean or where they came from or what they even say, or is it just some cool tribal designs? When the moon people carve something into the old orbs, I'd like to think that they keep the little shattered remains, whether they plant it in the soil, or use it in a potion, or mix it in their food, or maybe put it in their clothing, I don't know. Maybe it could be even a makeup for them, but they use every part of it and they don't want to waste it because it is so precious. Anyways, I'll check back in with you guys later. Now let's take a look at the ritual specialist's final page. Well, that was fun to make. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Remember to check out my Etsy in order to support me. These are some prints that I've made in the past of old doodles. Like, comment, subscribe if you would like, and I can't wait to see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye. Have a good day.